Good morning, my friends. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I like to jump in water first thing in the AM, or at least get out into nature. It's been a habit of mine for years. That early morning baptism, even if it's just a shower, jump in the water for that reset. The topic of discussion of this video, I'd like to share my interpretation and perception of some of the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton, who, if you are not familiar with his work, I highly recommend checking out, in two ways that you can change your mind. And by changing our minds, we change our lives. We change the way that we interact with others. We can change our personality, the character that we're playing in this life, the types of habits and traits that we have as an individual. All of this can be transformed. Now, how does that happen? Well, apparently, about 95% of your day, 95% of your thoughts, your actions, your day in and day out activities are all run off your subconscious. Just how you can drive your car without really thinking about it, tie your shoes without thinking about it. These patterns have been integrated into your psyche at a level that you don't even interact with. Now, it's understood that a majority of our patterns get driven in from the age of 1 or 0 to 6, the first 7 years of our life. We're basically just a clean slate where we are taking on all of the patterns, the character traits of our community around us, our parents, our friends. But whenever we get older, it's a little more difficult to make those changes. But that technology, that science is evolving. So there are two primary ways with which we know we can impact the subconscious and basically rewrite the programs that we're listening to, that we're running on. One is repetition, by just doing it, saying it, feeling it, visualizing an ideal, say of a personality trait. I exercise, I love to train, I am fit. If you're trying to adapt the character trait of being a person who trains or exercises, I am fit, I exercise, I love to train. Visualizing yourself as being in shape. Consistency and repetition. These images, these ideals, this feeling has to be brought back again and again and again. Something I've been really appreciating recently is the Muslim approach to prayer. They pray 5 times a day. The entire community does it. They take breaks at the same time every day throughout the day and either go to the church, to the mosque, I think that's what they call it, or they pray in their own home. But 5 times a day. I believe they even ring a bell. The whole community does it, so you can't forget it. I really like that idea of returning frequently to your meditation, to your visualization throughout the day. Whether you set a timer on your phone, or set reminders throughout your day to take those breaks. I've been most recently doing about 15 minutes 5 times a day. It's like at 5, 11, 2, 6, and then before I go to sleep. And I just sit for 15 minutes and follow my heart, link my breath and my heart and my mantra together. So this consistent repetition throughout the day is one way that we know how to drive new patterns into our psyche, how to remold our identity or our character, our personality, our perception of the world. The other way is if you can catch yourself when you're in basically theta or even delta, if you can be conscious in delta, which are lower frequencies, which is that place between dream and sleep. If we can catch ourselves first thing in the morning, right when we're coming out of that space, and we have that mantra You have to know it really well. You have to really be clear on your intention to be able to remember it as the first thing you think of whenever you wake up. But those first few moments of the day and the last few moments of the day, when we're in that transition between dream and sleep, there's a magical space there that if we can recall our ideals, our prayers, our visualizations, and focus on those during those periods, it's much easier to integrate it into our psyche, into our subconscious. So finding a way to routinely bring up those prayers, those ideals throughout the day, as well as knowing them so well that it becomes habitual to call on them first thing in the morning or last thing at night, ideally both. Those are two of the most profound ways that we can affect change in the psyche of a human. Awesome, guys. That's the main idea I want to share. Scope out the environment. This is Molowa'a Bay. Beautiful place. Sad but true fact. The eastward facing beaches of Hawaii are all collecting plastic. I think living next to the ocean makes it that much easier to see the destruction that we're doing to the planet, because I've seen the reefs deteriorate just in my short time being here, 10 years. Most of the reef here is dead. It's just dead coral. There's far fewer fish than there used to be. And there's plastic on the beaches. We've done such a good job of polluting the planet that you can be floating on the most isolated island in the world and find trash from around the world. Isn't that amazing? Now, I want to make a whole video on this topic, but I want to share the perception. When you look at the world as a whole, it seems impossible to even cure the disease that humanity is. But if we can break that down to the microcosm of the individual, of yourself, when you look at yourself, are you a probiotic to the world, or are you a parasite? Do you contribute in the elevation of the health and vitality of your environment, or do you deteriorate and destroy and live in an unsustainable manner? Because that's what parasites do. They will deteriorate their hosts until everybody dies. Sure, their eggs carry on into the next destruction, but the parasite will actually kill itself by destroying its own environment. It's this nihilistic psychology. It's an ignorance of self-destruction. And as a whole of humanity, we are parasites. But we are a unique species in the sense that we have the ability to make a choice to be probiotics. We can be beneficial life forms on this planet. And one of the clearest ways you can judge your impact is to look in your trash can. How much trash are you producing? All of those things that you buy throughout the day, the sodas, the food, all of it. How much trash do you produce? And really working to minimize that in your own world. Are you creating? Because all of that trash basically ends up in the oceans eventually, or buried in the earth somewhere. If we can all reflect on our own creation and try to live in ways that simplify the amount of trash that we make, and to work towards supporting sustainable means of agriculture and animal husbandry with the vote of our dollar, vital. Okay, that was my morning rant. Gonna get to it, do some breathing before I get to the day. A little aerobics, warm up. Oh man. Wow. Awesome, guys. Lots of love and appreciation. If you love the content, please click like, subscribe, share with people who you think would like it. If you want to support the channel, I have a Patreon I will link down below. It is a membership based on the donation you are able to afford. And there I'm more likely to directly answer your questions. I'll make a video once a month and answer all of the questions that are in there. I'm open to different formats that's going to take over time, and the support that goes to Patreon directly supports this channel, and the dissemination of such ideas and ideals. Awesome, guys. Lots of love and appreciation. Hope you're having a good one. See you next time. Peace.